Hi again, guys. I'm back. We're going to read another story. I've got Violet back with me, my dog. She's going to listen too. We're going to share the story Mason Buttle. And I think what I'm going to do is just read um, for 20 minutes every day. So I'll set us a timer and we'll read. I think this is going to be a really good one. Let me read you the back of it just to get you hooked. Mason Buttle is the biggest, sweatiest kid in his grade, and everyone knows that he can barely read or write. But Mason's learning disabilities are compounded by grief. 15 months ago, Mason's best friend, Benny Kilmartin, turned up dead in the Buttle family's orchard. They own an apple orchard. An investigation drags on, and Mason can't understand why Lieutenant Baird won't believe the story Mason has told about that day. Mason makes a new friend, tiny Calvin Chumsky, who is also relentlessly bullied by the other boys in their neighborhood. When Calvin goes missing, Mason finds himself in trouble again. He's desperate to figure out what happened to Calvin and eventually Benny. But will anyone believe him? The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle. So I'm just going to get my phone going here. I'm going to read for 20 minutes, and I'll just read for 20 minutes for us each day, and we'll read this story together. That'll be fun. Since we can't be together, we'll be together in literature. Here we go, 20 minutes to start us off. The Truth as Told by Mason Buttle is by Leslie Connor. And like I said in my other video, it is nominated for a Mark Twain Missouri State Reading Award for next school year, 2020, 21. Oh, that's weird to think about. But anyway, all right, the first chapter is called The Stoopid Shirt. And stupid is spelled Stoopid. The stupid shirt. Tell you what, I already know who stuffed this t-shirt into my locker. Matt Drinker did that. He took a Sharpie to it first. Fat black letters. He wrote stupid on it with the Stoopid. Stupid. Same way I spelled my word in the spelling bee on Friday morning. A kid like me does not belong in the spelling bee, but it is for all of 7th grade. This is not how I would kick off the school year, but I'm not in charge. Elimination rounds start in the classrooms. I'm eliminated. I saw a movie about a spelling bee once. There was a girl, and she had a magic about her. She could hear her word, any word at all, and the letters wrote themselves in the air. It happened in swirls and sparkles with fuzzy bees and fairies making glitter trails. The letters opened like apple blossoms. They flowed like paint off a brush. Always the right letter. And that would be an allusion to Aquila and the Bee, which is a great book too. People said that couldn't really happen, seeing things that way. It was just a movie trick. Oh, the book was made into a movie, like all good movies. But that I believe that girl saw it. At least some. I see things too, but no fairy wings, no flowers blooming. Here is what happened on Friday morning. I heard my word. Stopped. I'm going to show you how they have it there. Stopped. It's Stopped. Stopped. It's right there. Stopped. Had to be the easiest word ever in a 7th grade spelling bee. Tell you what, I knew I was going to spell it right. Stopped has double letters, and I like those. It is like getting a 2 for 1. Well, too bad, because as soon as I thought of that, I thought of another word. It starts with the same sound and has double letters somewhere around the middle part. I thought of stoop. Stoop. I have been with my brain for 12 long years. I know how it puts things wrong. So I closed my eyes. I thought, okay, Mason, don't let that in your head. Don't go spelling stoop. That's not your word. Your word is stopped. Under my eyelids, I started to see the letters. That's why I say it is like the girl from the movie. I can see the letters, but for me, they go ugly. They fade up or swell. They slide away. If my eyes had pincers on them, I'd grab at the letters and hold them still. Tick, tick, tick. You cannot take your time in a spelling bee. Stopped. Okay. S and T, those were correct. I knew they were. I said them. I got the safe feeling. The spelling timer ticked again. I tried to see the letters clear, but they fuzzed. And then they blobbed. I've seen it plenty of times. I squeezed my eyes shut tighter. I thought, please let me get this. I saw fat letters, blurry letters. Then came the other thing that I see. Color. Happens sometimes. This time it was the dirty green. Floats in like smoke. Happens when I can't get to the right letters. That green, it is the color of pressure on me. And a spelling bee is pressure. I rolled my eyeballs behind my lids, tried to erase all of that mess. My brain got itself caught on that other word, stoop. Double letters, tick, tick. I saw 2 O's. I said 2 O's. Somebody snorted, and I knew I was wrong. Knew that I had to finish, get it over with. I wiped my sweaty hands on my pants. Stopped. I heard a P sound. I said it quick. I knew there was something more. T on the end. No, D. It would be D on the end, but not just D. Tick, tick. No time. I said I and D, and what I spelled was stupid. Stoopid. Stupid. It sounded like stupid. The buzzer sounded. The whole classroom roared. Matt Drinker loves when something like that happens. That's why I'm guessing he put this stupid shirt in my locker. He must have picked my lock to do it. Funny thing is, I knew what the shirt said because of the 2 O's in the middle. I knew it in 2 blinks. Matt doesn't know it, but he did me a big favor. I always take 2 shirts to school, unless I forget. I change just before lunch. This is because of how I sweat. It is a lot. Can't stop it, can't hide it. I need to be dry at the lunch table, otherwise I'm a total gross out of a kid. Well, today was a day that I forgot my extra shirt, so I'm wearing this one that says stupid on it. It's big and it fits me. It's clean and dry. I'm going to keep moving. Maybe nobody will see what it says. And if they do, well, tell you what, plenty worse has happened. All right, now we're ready for chapter 2, the swoop. Other kids look up to me in the hallway. They have to. I'm the biggest, tallest 7th grader at Merrimack Middle School, by a lot. Today I'm moving fast. They laugh when they see me, but laughing is better than no laughing. I smile. I know I look funny, like a big walking billboard for stupid with 2 O's. I'm skipping the cafeteria. It is a wild place. It seems like a stupid shirt could start a food fight. I'm headed to the Swoop. That's Miss Blinny's room. I take giant steps all the way down the hall. I think about this. The Swoop. The Swoop has double O's in the middle, just like the word on my shirt. Funny name, the Swoop. Miss Blinny made that up. She used some little tile letters. They came from a sign that said Social Work Office. I know that because Miss Blinny told me. She was making the Swoop sign the day I met her. Mrs. Lorenz from the elementary school brought me over to the middle school on the last day of 5th grade so I can meet her friend. We walked through the front part of the office where there is a big soft couch and 2 beanbag chairs, also a lava lamp, and the little table with a snack basket on top. There are posters on the walls and a whole lot of clutter. Miss Blinny's desk is the last thing, tucked behind a bookcase by the window. Something smelled hot in there the day that I went to meet Miss Blinny. Sure enough, she was holding a glue gun in one hand and pushing those letter tiles around on her desk with the other. Pink paint was drying on a nice wooden shape. A pink paintbrush was drying onto her desk. Miss Blinny sure was busy, but when she saw me, she looked up and smiled. She said, "Oh, yeah, Mason, glad to meet you." The smile got bigger. She stayed looking at me like a person shining from the inside out. At me. Her glue gun dripped a glob of hot stuff onto her papers. I said, "Be careful." She said, "Oh, oops, dripping." And then there went another string of glue. She grabbed for a tissue, but she spilled a tub of glitter beads across the desk. She smiled with a big open mouth and bright, happy eyes. "Ha! Look at that, Mason! A sparkle spill." She took a picture of it, and that has been her screensaver for more than a year now. There was a new social work office sign on the door when school started last September. I mean, the plain kind, like the school puts up. But Miss Blinny had finished her glitter project too. She stuck her pink Swoop sign on the door. Tell you what, it makes the room easy to find. I like the way she is, Miss Blinny, how she spills things and doesn't wait for paint to dry. So today I turn the corner into her room, breathe out a breath, the kind that means you made it home. I like the Swoop. I'm always welcome here. Chapter 3. Better than stupid. I'm the only kid in the Swoop today, but I won't be for long. It's a stopping in place. I poke my head around the bookcase. I tell Miss Blinny hello. She's working, but I can interrupt her if I am polite about it. I hold up my lunch bag for her to see. I have twisted the top into a thing that looks like a pumpkin stem. It's wet from me sweating it up. I say, "Okay if I eat in here?" And she says, "Sure." She pushes a button on her desk phone. She tells the office, "Hello, I have Mason Buttle, and I'm keeping him for a while." She says keeping, as if everyone should want to keep me. At the end of the call, Mrs. Blinny stands. She is small, even in her tall boots. She looks up to me, too. She tilts her head. She's reading my shirt, the letters that spell stupid. She says, "Mason, want to tell me about the shirt?" I look at my chest. Miss Blinny might already know about the spelling bee. She knows a lot of things about me. I won't tell that I think it was Matt Drinker who put the shirt in my locker, and I won't tell why either. I say, "It's clean and dry. It's handmade." She says, "Handmade. I don't like it. It's derogatory." I shrug. Derogatory must be bad. But what am I going to do about it anyway? My morning shirt is all sweated up. It's in a bag inside my locker. Miss Blinny opens her desk drawer, pulls out a roll of duct tape, the decoration kind, purple plaid. She pulls off 2 strips, tapes over stupid like she's crossing that off me, and then she takes out a Sharpie of her own. She says, "Mind if I write on you, Mason?" And I tell her, "Go ahead." Being written on is tricky. Miss Blinny has me tuck a copy of the Merrimack Gazette up the front of my shirt. I look down and watch her write. She puts 3 words. "There's a thing to know about me. I can barely read. I can't read right side up, and I sure cannot read upside down." But now she's drawing a picture, too. She draws 2 squares with corners overlapping, connects the sides with 4 lines. I know this one. It's a box. Miss Blinny finishes. She backs up. She puts the cap on her Sharpie. Good thing, because she's tapping the end of the marker on her bottom lip now. She smiles, big white teeth. She says, "Wait, wait, I just thought of something else." And she pops the pen open again. She writes 2 more upside down words, puts a question mark at the end, and says, "Done." I peel the Merrimack Gazette out from under my shirt. The front page is wet from my sweat. We agree that I should put that in the recycle bin, and I do. I tug on the bottom of the shirt, look down the long front of me. I ask Miss Blinny, "What do I say now?" She reads, "Think outside the," and then she points to her drawing and looks up at me. I say, "Box?" And she says, "Yes." And then she reads the last part. "Can you?" She chirps that part out like a bird. She says, "Your shirt makes a statement and asks a question. It's a curiosity." She smiles, Sharpie waving in the air. I nod, and I say, Well, I guess that's better than stupid. Just one thing, Miss Blinny. What does it mean? She says, thinking outside the box is a skill. It means your mind is big and open. Mason, if you can think outside the box, you have no limits. And that's you. Miss Blinny is smiling at me. I say, and it's not derogatory. She says, not one bit. I run through that again. Thinks outside the box. That's what my shirt says now. I memorize it. She says, okay, get comfy and have your lunch, Mason. Oh, and think about some of the things that you and I always talk about. Let your mind go deep. When you're done eating, I have something new for you to try. I choose the one hard chair in the Swoop. I can dry it off later if I sweat it off. If I sweat it up. I untwist the top of my lunch bag. Wonder what Miss Blinny has planned. Wonder if my mind can be deep. And then I think this. Well, I guess my mind can be outside a box, and maybe that's a start. Okay, now we are on chapter 4, called Our Place. When I say that Miss Blinny knows a lot about me, I mean she knows because I tell her. She says I talk a blue streak. She thinks I have a story. Funny thing, she is not the only one who thinks that. Lieutenant Baird thinks it too. He thinks I have a story about my best friend, Benny Kilmartin. More than I already told him. He gave me that notebook and wants me to write in it. That is a nightmare for a kid like me. Miss Blinny means a different story. More like the whole thing about me. My story. She talks about that like it's something I'm sitting on, like I could pull it out from under me, like a copy of the Merrimack Gazette. Like any old time now, I will say, here's the true story of me, Mason Buttle. Some people think they already know my story. That's just because they live around here. Some stuff is plain, some stuff is right where you can see it. If you lived in Merrimack, you might know our place. It's the crumble down house out on Swaggertown Road. It sits on a good bit of acres that used to be a whole lot more. Developers. My Uncle Drum says we can't live without them. My grandma says we should have tried. You might know our orchard. You might remember it looking alive as a hive late in the summer. PYO, pick your own. If you are like me, your eyes about pop out of your head at how quick the developers dozered down the trees. They are still building new houses, up the hill and down the hill from our place. You might look at our house sitting in the middle and wonder why it looks like somebody emptied a dustpan over it. I try. I sweep the porch, pull the weeds in the front, but I am now and then about it. I don't keep up. Uncle Drum says just leave it, and then another shingle drops off the roof and lands in the yard. But that crumble down is still home, the place I start from every day. If I had a story, it might begin there. But tell you what, it would not be long before I got to the parts that could ruin anybody's lunch. I sit in the Swoop staring at my sandwich, not eating. Must be my mind has gone deep. I think about this. Benny Kilmartin is a part of my story. Best friends since first grade. The Kilmartin place is not far down the road from my house. Walking distance. I went to Benny's house a lot, and he came to mine, like brothers with two homes. So I got close with Benny's dads. Andy is the most at-home dad, carpenter, a house painter. Benny's other dad is Franklin. He works in an office in the city, but it was Andy who always watched for the bus, so I miss him. But most of all, I miss Benny. Benny's been gone since the end of 5th grade. Springtime, apple blossom time, that's a year, plus a few months. He died in May, and now it is the 2nd September since. Second bloom, second apple time. I think of the apples because Benny died in the orchard, our orchard. That's the story Lieutenant Baird wants. I already told him. I told everyone. I found Benny still as a stone right under the tree fort. I saw that the ladder was broken, top rung snapped, hanging. I saw that just before I tried to make Benny Kilmartin breathe again. I guess it was not the best ladder. I told everyone that I was sorry about that. I wished I'd built that better. But that ladder was not broken at supper time when I jumped down from the tree fort, heading for home. I got no idea what made that rung give out. I didn't then, and I don't now. So now you know it. My best friend is dead. Tell you what, puts a fly in my head thinking about what happened to Benny Kilmartin. Okay, we're getting ready now for chapter 5. Talk to the dragon. And we're going to start learning more about Mason's story and what happened with his best friend, Benny Kilmartin. But to sum up what we've done so far, we learned that his best friend died in the apple orchard that Mason's family owns, and he died. Oh, there's our timer. That was 20 minutes. And he died somehow related to a ladder that Mason built. So the top rung of the ladder had broken, and they found Benny at the bottom, and he had died. So we'll learn more as we get through more chapters. We got through 5 chapters today. Tomorrow we'll start at chapter 5. I'd like to thank my Violet right here. Violet, yes, thank you for being a good listener. Hope you guys were good listeners too. And right back to sleep. And we will have another 20 minutes of reading tomorrow. Let me see.